Hi, my name is Aiden Newman. My script is on how hard how books were made in the 1800s and why it may have been hard for them to make. Sorry if you hear my dog coughing in the background. She's pretty sick, but I'll get on with my questions or my answers or facts or whatever. One of this is my script. So. A main reason why books were very hard to manufacture was because they were made with an iron press, which can destroy your hands if you use it wrong. And after multiple accidents happened with the iron press, a new press was made, the cylinder press, which was a more efficient but more dangerous because it used gears and cogs, which could get your hand or a tie or a loose string trapped in it and pull you closer. And it's really dangerous. And when a man called George Clymer made a press with a counterweight to stop accidents from others leaning on them and getting arms broken from leaning on them, it made it much safer and much easier to print. And then there was a man named De La Rue founded and made the biggest printing company in London due to its printing stamps, playing cards, and nowadays is still the biggest security print in the world. Then there was a man named John Marshall makes a device called a dandy roll, which made a watermark on papers, but only worked half the time. It only worked half the time. It'd print them wrong and would be so it'd be easier to type it honestly. In 1829, they invented Braille for the blind, but lots of people had to teach it to others that were blind. And then dust jackets were made to keep books from being messed up from the dust and grime, but also took a long time to make due that they were made from wax and paper. It wasn't easy to mess up with the wax. Due to long times it took to make normal bindings, a man made a machine that did it automatically as well as much faster and made more of a quantity. The first adhesive post stamp called the Black Penny was invented. It allowed citizens of the UK ship items and mail from there to anywhere in the country for a simple penny. And a static painting was a form of copying an exact replica of a painting and an early forerunner of photocopier. An interesting fact to know that Edgar Allan Poe made an article on how dangerous it was to copy others. In 1842, the first illustrated weekly newspaper came out. It was slightly more expensive, with the price of being 5 pence, and during 1861 the newspaper began to get lower prices due to the abolition of paper duty. Number 13 is about Anna Atkins, a known photographer, was the first person to put photos in a book, and the only to illustrate exclusively with photographs. She had 389 photos made by putting algae on photographic paper and exposing them to sunlight. In the same year that Anna Atkins made her books with photos, Sir Henry Cole hired an English painter to paint him 1,000 Christmas cards that he colored himself, and they still exist to this day, but they were controversial since there was a child drinking wine in the card. In 1843, an American inventor, Richard March, made the first rotary printer illustrator, in which the middle of rotating cylinder rather than a flatbed, which sped up the printing process considerably, but it had a downside since people were having to operate the machine could easily fall off, and you needed 4.